Welcome to Ask Ms. ERP. The topic of this video is how to build an ERP project team. Hello everyone, Ms. ERP here. This video is the first in a series on implementing or upgrading a complex enterprise system such as an ERP. Supporting it for the long term is equally important, and I will cover that in the future. In this video, I will focus on your internal employee resources, and we'll cover how to choose a partner in the next video. So what does a good ERP implementation project team look like? I would recommend that you have a mix of internal employees that will stay with the system for the long term, along with expert contract resources. What I have seen work well in the past is to take half of your existing ERP support teams, both business and IT, and put them on the project, leaving the other half to support the old system. It is usually obvious as to who to put on which team, because some people like project work, while others prefer support. Make sure you ask your folks their interest and don't assume their wants, as it will change over time, depending on individual circumstances. For example, if someone has small kids, it might be difficult to dedicate the extra hours that are typically required on an ERP project. If necessary, you can backfill for the people assigned to the project, but if you're moving off that old system, you should really quiet down any activity on it so that hopefully half the original team can look after it on their own. In theory, you should not be making anything but critical changes to your old system. Your employees on the project can learn from the contract experts so that you do not lose valuable knowledge when the project is over and the contractors leave. These employees would also be responsible for bringing the people supporting the old system up to speed on the new system. So do make sure that you are not handing over the keys to your kingdom to resources that will not be with you for the long term.
It's alive!
As your ERP is really the backbone of your company, you must do a good job of implementation, or else every integrated system will also feel the pain. This is not just a software installation, and you must have the people involved that know and understand your data and processes well. Make sure you have the right people with the right skills in the right roles. I will discuss specific roles in an upcoming video. Do not consider people as generic and move them around to fit resource gaps without considering the required skill set. Yes, of course people can learn and do their own research, but you do not want them guessing what to do or experimenting with your new ERP system without guidance. As an example, your chart of accounts needs to be defined in such a way to support all of your business reporting needs. This is not an activity to shortcut in any way. As always, out of people, process, and technology, it is usually technology that is the easiest to handle, and more focus should be given to the people and processes, which will include your data. Many ERP projects turn into just an installation of software rather than a true end-to-end implementation. I would also recommend that you put the A team in place. Some projects, especially large ones, can be seen as a dumping ground for lesser contributing resources. Perhaps a chance to get them out of a department that doesn't really want them. Not recommended. Dealing with these C-type resources should be an HR activity totally aside from any work task. You will need your best and brightest on your ERP project to make sure it is successful. Another common mistake is to assign resources to a large system project on a part-time basis only. This does not usually work well. Operational day-to-day issues or problems will always take precedence over project work and will likely impact your project timeline. If your people are already stretched thin, adding more work to them could lead to burnout or resource attrition. In my experience, the resources needed for a complex system implementation or upgrade are usually underestimated. Tasks that may be considered simple sometimes have hidden surprises that turns them into a much bigger piece of work. A common example of this can be found in data conversion. Unless you are very lucky, there will be some niggly data details that will need to be worked out, likely requiring some effort in cleaning up source data so that it will work properly in your new target system. This could be very time-consuming. The message here is to make sure that you plan for some contingency in your resources and watch out for individuals getting overloaded and get them some help. Communication is key to a successful ERP project. Ideally, you would have your project team all located in the same physical place, preferably on one floor together. Though times are changing and it is becoming much more common to have remote workers, so you need to build a very thorough communication plan, making sure that your entire team, from your executive stakeholders down to your developers, are aware of what the goals and timelines are, current status of the same, and how their individual deliverables fit into the big picture. I recommend weekly status meetings and reports for all subteams, and as your go-live date approaches, this may need to be a daily activity. It is definitely an art to know what level of communication needs to be delivered to which stakeholder. Depending on the size of your project, a dedicated communications person may end up being one of your most valuable team members.
Yeah!
Keeping these points in mind will ensure that you have the best ERP project team for the many different roles that will be required to ensure that your ERP implementation or upgrade is successful. This concludes the How to Build an ERP Project Team topic. I have a number of ideas for topics for Ask Ms. ERP, but I'm also hoping that you will post questions that perhaps I can help answer. There is a link on askmserp.com to email me to ask questions or suggest topics for future videos. Or you can just add comments on any YouTube video. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you would like to receive notifications of new Ask Ms. ERP videos, please update your YouTube settings as shown. Thanks, and see you on the next video.